Hi guys, I am Alexander and today I'm gonna talk about homeostasis. But just before we are going to the next slides, I want to tell you that when I hear homeostasis word, in my mind are playing the following words like equilibrium, balance and between. So let's go to the next slide and read the official one definition of homeostasis, like the tendency towards a relatively stable equilibrium between interdependent elements, especially as maintained by physiological processes. The next slide is interesting, but what is clue here? To know what type of cell is, first of all, we have to know from which environment or sample of the cells is get, like from our body, or I mean human body, which tissue especially that is making our procedure less difficult. And if it is just one cell, it is called a single-celled organism, and they are entirely dependent from the external environment in which they are living even. But multiple cells are entirely dependent on the environment, and it is called interstitial fluid, but of the own organism, like human body. And the vast majority of our cells do not have any contact with external environment, out of skin, of course. Instead of, the body cells are surrounded by external fluid called interstitium. And the last slide that is very important. Let me count all the components of the homeostasis, like nutrients, oxygen, temperature, carbon dioxide, waste products, pH, electrolytes, and water. So cells are in need of constant supply with nutrients, and the main source represent glucose. It is maintained in the body like range 3.3 to 5.5, very close range, and it is maintained usually by many mechanisms like increasing production or decrease one by depositation. Oxygen is used for oxidoreduction processes and of course production of energy. Temperature is regulated by two mechanisms, thermogenesis and lysis. I want to mention that single-celled organisms like amoeba that are living in a water, for example, cannot regulate by self temperature, and they are highly dependent on this deviation. Carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide, waste products like urea, like hydrogen or anything else, are product of final product of energy production. Any deviation of pH can be catastrophic for cells, and a low pH decreases all processes. A high pH can develop many changes in the cell. And important is that pH be maintained in the normal range, close to normal range, like 7.4. Electrolytes. When we are talking about electrolytes, we have to know the main one, like sodium, potassium, that are responding for cellular membrane depolarization, and calcium as well for cellular membrane depolarization, and they are also serving for pump regulation, like they are gates that allow or not allowing some substances for going inside or outside, and the exchange of the components inside and outside of the cell. And water is kind of dependent by sodium. Where is going sodium, going water as well. So thank you for your watching. Hope this lecture is useful for you. See you soon.